Focus. The focus. Focus.
Hey guys, it's David Soda here with CNR Racing. Today we are at Varus Engineering to install our brand new A90 Supra heat exchanger LTR into their A90 Supra. And today we're just going to show you pretty much how it all installs and fits in the vehicle, and to get you more performance out on the road. And this is a brief view of what we'll be putting in. An LTR is a low temp radiator or a heat exchanger for when there's an intake brick. On the A90 Supras, they're turbocharged and have an intake brick on the intake manifold side. So when the charged air goes over the intake brick, it cools down the air going into the engine. So to cool that brick down, you need a separate water system, and that water system operates off the heat exchanger, or the LTR we call it. So it's an external electric water pump that flows through the LTR to get your water nice and cool, then into the brick on the intake side to keep your charge air temps as low as possible.
All right, so first thing we have done is we've removed all these plastic pins, I think 3 per side. Yeah, 3 or 4 per side. Yeah, there's the 4th one. And then basically that allows us to lift this up, and we'll be able to get to some bolts that are necessary to remove this metal shroud up top, as well as the bumper. All right, so at this point we actually removed this, just pull up. We removed all of these. I think there's 5 or 6. Those are 10mm heads, and we've kind of already pulled it forward. And then we removed these 2 8mm right there. Yeah, so there's one right there and one right there. And then I think we're gonna remove some stuff on the fender. There's some 8mm in there, and then hopefully the bumper will come off. All right, so we have the car up in the air. You can see the 3 M8s that we removed in the fender. And then I think the last part are gonna be these 8mm right here. And then hopefully the front bumper will move. If you have these installed, which we don't because we're having a front splitter right now, you probably have to remove all of these bolts as well. All right, so we basically removed those bolts like I just said. And then we found out that this little thing right here, sitting on the aluminum bar, basically all we have to do is push it up, and then the entire bumper more or less pops forward, and then I think it'll come off. All right, so we are popping out the clip and then unclipping it so that the sensors and whatever else on the front, yeah, I think it's all like the avoiding collision stuff is basically goes with the bumper, but basically just remove the clip from the chassis, and then we're gonna unclip it. All right, so after the little flip up on the rear thing, the entire front bumper comes off with the sensors. This is basically what you're looking at, and this is actually really cool ductwork. Toyota MW did a really good job. It's very cool. All right, so basically at this point we removed a bunch of 13mm bolts. They're all over the place, probably some up there, forget. But on the front 4, you just loosen them. The what would you call it, shield, is slotted on the front, so those 4 remain. And then you pull up so that you can, there's little plastic things, and basically you have to pull up on that and then snake it out under your trunk latch. All right, so to install the CNR LTR, we're gonna remove those Torx on either side, and then hopefully gain access to that. All right, so on the back side, on the front side, you have a few little clips. Those are easy, but the back side, kind of difficult. You have to pull up the fan shroud significantly and then snake this underneath and then out. Pain in the butt. All right, so at this point, we've removed the rear. Same thing, T30s, a bunch of weird clips that are kind of a pain in the butt to remove. So T30, and then there's some like clips here. We also removed all the grill work, or plastic shrouding, I guess. I don't know what you want to call it. That was also a pain in the butt. Basically, you just kind of have to work through it. These we basically pulled out and then pushed it down, and then I don't know what David did for the top. He did some stuff.
There's 2 clips on the right side, 1 clip on the left.
2 clips on the right side, 1 clip on the left. All right, to remove the LTR, basically we move these clips up, top and bottom. We shoved this guy kind of in this little corner here so that you can pull it up, because there's a lot of stuff over here on the LTR. That's what we found, at least. And then the LTR basically just lifts up. The bottom unit is down there, still dripping. And now it's time to install the new unit. All right, guys, so we basically installed the LTR. Basically, you just kind of slide it down, basically like stock. It installs with the OEM lines, all the lines lined up. The core is slightly larger. What'd you say, 10 mil?
10 mil bigger.
So the core is actually 10 mil larger, has some better fins and tubes than factory. So we are excited to do some testing on this at a later date. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed that install of the CNR LTR for the 2020 Toyota Supra. We're gonna be doing some back-to-back testing on this unit as well as the factory unit, and we're gonna be comparing intake air temps with the car on track. Should be really interesting to see what happens. Overall, the install was not too terrible. We will also probably be doing a video on how to bleed the system with potentially a vacuum bleeder as well as without a vacuum bleeder. So look for that here shortly. Other than that, hope you enjoyed the video, and feel free to subscribe and like us on our channel.